Alright, welcome back to another Tackle Talk. I know that I have been not very consistent with my uploads lately, but I promise there's plenty on the way. It's just one of those things where when you're blessed with good days on the water, you gotta find time to edit all the footage, and time has been at a premium recently with school winding down and a little one at home that just turned one. So anyway, what I wanted to talk about tonight was kind of the baits that have been working best for me this spring and kind of dive into why those baits have done really well. Again, it's going to be a lot of like pull pause type stuff because for whatever reason that's just been the deal this spring. I'm sure people out there are catching them on different things, but for me it's been more of a pull pause program. But anyway, so let's dive in right away. This is going to be no surprise to anyone. We're going to start off with the Chaos Tackle MiniDoosa. This is the nuclear crappie. It got chewed once and kind of got messed up. I got to either replace some tails on this guy or do something or just order a new one. I don't know. When you have a 41 incher just absolutely choke it, things happen. And unfortunately, we had some tails just not fare very well after that happened. So, you know, it is what it is. I'll take it, and I will gladly grab another one if that needs to be the case. But the MiniDoosa has been working well. Not just the nuclear crappie, but like the old eagle color that does really well for me because it looks like a spawning crappie. It's got like silver tails, white or black head, excuse me. So that thing just it really just shines when they kind of want that pull pause routine and something that's really erratic that works in their face. Also, it tends to rip out of the weeds really easy, like a lot of these emergent weeds that are coming up right now or are peaking out right now or were in the process of growth, you know, as I was hitting the water. It's one of those baits that's really easy to rip right out of those weeds. Okay. Moving on to the next one that I've done really well with this season, that being the 8-inch Naven. Now this is not in particular the one that I've been having the most success with. That is the moss shad that is in my box. My box is in my car because I'm getting ready to fish at some point again this weekend. Come on, camera. What are you doing? Knock it off. There it goes. Alright, take two. But again, the moss shad, the one that I've been having the most success on, is kind of just chilling in my box right now. This is one of the old foil crappies. I've moved a lot of fish on this one. I haven't actually caught on this one, but plenty of fish have been interested, and needless to say, there's been several pike that this has been caught on that have been consumed by either me or muskies. But neither here nor there. So yeah, this is the 8-inch Naven's been really effective for me. The way that I've been working it is kind of a rip-off from what Taylor taught me, kind of you know, more or less trying to trigger those strikes, not so much a steady just pull, but kind of like using the reel and the rod working together. You've seen it in Brian's videos. He does it really well, where you're just kind of working the rod and the reel together, and it makes it swing a little bit further and gives it just a little bit more shimmy in the body. And then you kind of give it that double tap, and then usually on that second tap, if you let it hang, that's when the muskie eats. I've got a couple videos coming out where that is very clearly showcased, which is really cool. It's been moving a lot of fish, it's been catching some fish. I've also been losing some fish on it, but I think that's more user error than anything, or just crappy luck. What do you do? Muskies are gonna muskie. So, but anyway, the 8-inch Naven's been awesome. It's just been crushing. So anyway, moving on to the next. All right, the next bait on the list is a glide bait. This happens to be Charlie Ridgway's Fathom Glide. I just grabbed it because it was sitting close by to some of these other baits that I was going to talk about this evening. But this bait that Charlie does tends to run a little deeper than most of your glides. I would compare it similarly to like a round nose or blunt nose. But again, glides are just a quintessential spring bait. They really help the fish kind of key in on a slow moving presentation. It really works to hang in their face. The biggest thing this spring that I've worked to do, as well as like other people who I fish with have worked to do, is just kind of pair that glide bait more or less to the structure that you're fishing. If you're fishing like emergent weeds, you know, it's important to have a glide bait that's not going to get super deep and get like bogged down in those weeds. If you're fishing like maybe a dam or a deeper point or something, then you may want to consider something like the Fathom Glide or the round nose that's going to get a little deeper than something like a Phantom or a Tap Dancer, for example. Anyway, I digress. The next one on the list, we've got this is a Lee Lures 6.5. We had a first muskie in the boat on, not this one specifically, but another color. I think it was like the gold sucker bling color. Anyway, again, this one was sitting close by, so I just grabbed it. It works as the example, but we also had another first muskie on a Slammer 6-inch minnow. So, you know, the smaller profile twitch baits have been really effective. One of the guys that I know, Jake from the Bucket Boys, has been doing really, really well on a 6-inch Jake this year. It's just one of those things where sometimes that profile really makes a difference when it comes to what the fish are doing. So yeah, smaller twitch baits have been really, really effective for me this spring. All right, last but not least, we've got the Ridgway Customs 9-inch twitch. This thing has been doing some serious work for me, even though it hasn't put a ton of fish in the boat for me yet this year. I've got one small one on it, but I've moved a ton of fish on it. I've had a couple like come in super hot on it in the figure 8 and just not quite finish the job. It's very, very frustrating, but what can you do? Muskies will be muskies. That isn't going to stop me from chucking it. I'm going to keep doing it, but it's one of those things where it's been very, very effective at moving fish that don't want to move and getting fish fired up when nothing else seemingly does. Again, this one's got the new backbone kind of lip reinforcement there, which is really a good thing too, because it just gives those big baits a little bit more backing in order to just work. You know, it's a big bait, moves a lot of water, so having a little bit of reinforcement behind those bills is never going to hurt anything. So again, this one I haven't thrown a ton just because it gets a little deeper than some of the others, but the Night Eye I've been really throwing, I've been throwing it a bunch, and it's been putting in some work for me. So again, really look forward to chucking these some more and really catching some serious fish on these Ridgways. It's just a matter of time. Matt's been crushing on it all spring long. I don't know. Probably user error, as with most things. But anyway, I will leave you with those thoughts on my spring selection as far as what's been working for me. I hope you guys have been doing wonderfully on the water, catching tons of fish, big fish, all kinds of fish. It's been a fun spring. It's been a tough spring at times, but it's been a lot of fun, and a lot of really good memories have been made on the water. And at the end of the day, that's really what it's all about. So, as always, I thank you all for watching. I hope that you guys get out there and crush some fish this year. Like, good luck. We've got Wisconsin opener coming up. We've got Minnesota opener coming up. I've got stuff planned and things happening. I can't wait to share the memories with everyone who tunes in. So with all that being said, good luck in 23, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.